Today we're going to be showing you 2 keto-friendly deep fried appetizers that I'm sure you're going to love. The first is a new twist on a jalapeno popper that's sure to impress. The second is one that I've been wanting to make for years because it's always featured on a show that I watch, and the recipe is goat cheese balls.
So if you guys don't know, Emily and I live in Chicago, and one of our favorite restaurants is Kuba's Corner. It's a heavy metal themed bar that has some really special burgers on their menu. One of my favorites was the Lair of the Minotaur, which was a burger with a poached pear that was like poached in bourbon. It was so delicious. But the one thing on their menu that I got every single time that I went there was their jalapeno poppers. Their jalapeno poppers are different than others because they're stuffed with cream cheese and chorizo. They're then breaded and deep fried, and they're served with this raspberry jalapeno sauce on the side. So I thought, why not try to recreate that today for you guys, but make it keto. So I have all of my ingredients here. It's really simple, and we are going to list this recipe on our website, ketotwins.com. We'll link the recipe in the description below. I know that sometimes we forget to do that. If we didn't forget, it will be there. So you don't have to worry about writing anything down right now. So we have jalapenos, chorizo, cream cheese, almond flour, pork rinds, garlic powder, salt and pepper to taste, and an egg for an egg wash. When you're preparing your jalapenos, either make sure to wear gloves, which I didn't have at the moment, or just be very careful when you're touching your face. And if you guys are not following us on Instagram, we like to show you behind the scenes of what really happens when we're filming these videos. And today I was preparing all the food ahead of time, and I cut up the jalapenos, and then I touched my eye. What followed was me crying all over the place, and then Emily having to put in my contacts for me because I couldn't touch my eyeballs, and I probably still cannot touch my eyeballs because it's all in my nails. So this is a warning to you all out there, just wear gloves or be very careful when you're touching jalapenos because the, what is it called?
Oil.
The oil from them tends to stay on your fingers for a very long time. I bought this chorizo in my grocery store. It comes in this tube, squirt it out into a pan and brown it. I let it cool off to the side, and then I combined it with a block of cream cheese that had been sitting out at room temperature. Okay, so our chorizo and cream cheese is nice and mixed. I'm gonna be adding some garlic powder, salt and pepper to the pork rinds just to hide that pork rind taste that you get from breading things with it. And then we're gonna start filling our jalapeno halves and doing the breading process, if you will. Okay, so what I did was I took the jalapeno popper and I put it into my egg wash first and tried to get it really wet. You really want it to be moist or wet around the entire jalapeno popper because that's what's going to help the other ingredients stick. So then I brought it out and I put it into my almond flour. You want to just use really light hands when you're kind of working with these because you can take it, it will come off if you put too much pressure on there. So I put it back into my egg wash, and I used really light hands to turn it around. So then I put it into my pork rinds and I made sure to press it down so that the pork rinds would actually stick to it. And then I put it on a plate, and now we're gonna put them in the freezer for up to an hour so that they can harden up and get ready for frying.
Next up, we're gonna make an appetizer inspired by a reality TV show that I watched. It's a guilty pleasure, don't judge me. I've been watching Vanderpump Rules for like the past 6 or 8 years, and it's about these waitresses and waiters that live in LA, and they work at this restaurant, and they're always talking about these fried goat cheese balls. I've never been to this restaurant, but you know what? I figure, I have a cooking channel on YouTube. Why can't I fry up goat cheese balls? I don't have to go all the way to LA for this. I can just make this in the comfort of my home, and I can make it keto because I have a YouTube channel where I'm cooking for 30,000 people, which we hit 30,000 subscribers, which we're so excited about. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you would have told me that I would be cooking for 30,000 people on the internet, I would have told you were crazy because I am self-taught. But Sarah and I have been trying to learn more to provide you the best keto cooking content. So that brings us to the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. Skillshare has so many different types of classes in so many categories like interior design, photography, gardening, cooking. The class that we just took was called Knife Skills, a mini class to chop like a chef, taught by Alana Karp. Some of the things I learned in this class, which is really concise, and you can actually chop along with her, and you're supposed to be doing that as you're taking the class, is that the knife should never actually leave the cutting board, which is something that I did not know, and I always did, which is probably why I cut myself on more than one occasion. And remember that Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads, and they're always launching premium new classes, so you can stay focused and follow where your creativity takes you. The first 1,000 people to click the link in our description will receive a 1-month trial to Skillshare Premium. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now let's make some goat cheese balls. So for goat cheese balls, you're gonna need goat cheese. I'm using this garlic and herb goat cheese. It's organic. You can use plain goat cheese if you want, but I prefer the ones with the herbs, like why not? You could also probably add fresh herbs from your garden into there. You can maybe even add some like roasted pepper or sun-dried tomato if you want, just a little bit, you know, in keto. So I had this in the freezer, but goat cheese is very soft, so it's not gonna stay frozen for long. You're gonna want to cut it into slices and we're gonna form them into balls. We're going to be doing the same method that Sarah used for the jalapeno poppers because that's how we deep fry everything on keto. Originally, I thought that we were going to have to dip the balls into the egg and then into the almond flour, but I've tried it and I think it's going to stick on its own. So you don't need to double dip these because the cheese is soft and the almond flour has something to grab onto. So we're just gonna go almond flour, egg, pork rind onto a plate. We have about 2.5 inches of avocado oil in this pot. You could use lard too, which is more cost effective, and I think you can actually strain the lard and reuse it, which might be a great option for some people. We are only going to be testing out the temperature by doing one at a time, or maybe two at a time. They are not going to take long at all. You just want them enough to get those pork rinds nice and crispy. It's been about 1.5 minutes, and I think I'm going to take out the first one now. Onto our, remember balls roll. Be conscious of that you have hot fried
rolling
balls rolling everywhere. There you go. I think that they look nice.
They smell good.
We're gonna finish dropping these balls into the oil and then we will try one on camera. Wow, these look really, really good. I can't wait to try them. You know, I expected them to be kind of like mozzarella sticks, but you know, with like that pull. But it's actually, the cheese is so soft that it's more like gooey. Very good. Let's try it with some jalapeno ranch. So good. Okay, next up we're gonna fry up some of those jalapeno chorizo poppers. So here are our poppers that were in the freezer for an hour. They're nice and hard. Yeah, we're gonna be using the same oil, avocado oil that we were using for the balls. And we're gonna slowly lower them in. These are bigger, so I'm just gonna do one at a time. And the only thing that really needs to be cooked here is the egg. I mean, everything else is cooked. So, you probably want to wilt or cook the jalapeno. Yeah. Hello.
I guess that's true. I don't mind a crisp jalapeno, but a jalapeno, as some call it. Jalapeno. Okay, so I'm gonna fry up the rest of these and then I'm gonna try it. So here we have our
chicken Kiev.
Shut up. Emily is making fun of my jalapeno poppers and calling them chicken Kiev, but they are in fact not chicken. So we have here our Kuma's Corner inspired chorizo, cream cheese stuffed jalapeno poppers with spicy raspberry sauce. The spicy raspberry sauce is literally just some sugar-free raspberry preserves, some water, and some cayenne pepper. I'll try my chicken Kiev slash. I'm gonna go for the smaller one. I should have tried it without the jam first, but. Oh, it's super good. It's bringing me back.
Really?
To those heavy metal days, yeah. It's really good. Now with the sauce, again. I never knew I was a chorizo fan until now. I really like it. So I would call these appetizers a success. I love them both and plan to make them again. Don't forget to click on the link below to get your free trial of Skillshare Premium for a month. And if you guys want to see other content from us, you can click on one of the videos on the screen and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah and Emily's behind the camera and we're the Keto Twins signing out.